Former AEW Women's Champion Hikaru Shida believes that being a Japanese woman in AEW is harder than it used to be. Hey everyone, I'm Denise Salcedo, you're watching the Sportster News, and here's the latest on what Hikaru Shida had to say about being a Japanese wrestler and a women's wrestler in AEW. Take a look. Hikaru Shida has opened up about the difficulties of being a female Japanese wrestler in All Elite Wrestling. The former AEW Women's Champion recently returned to her homeland where she appeared on a show. While in Japan, Shida penned a column for the Japanese publication for Weekly Pro Wrestling, in which she shares some of her concerns regarding how AEW treats its Yoshi talent and address the challenges of being forced to navigate day-to-day life in the United States when you're not fluent in English. She wrote, "At the time of the launch, the women's division of AEW relied heavily on Japanese female pro wrestlers, and that was one of the selling points of the division. But that was only for a while after the launch. Nowadays, being a Japanese female pro wrestler is not as much of an advantage as it used to be. On the contrary, it has become more of a handicap in terms of language barrier, obtaining a work visa, and the corona disaster." She continued on by saying, "In AEW, there is a high degree of freedom for the wrestlers, but because of that, everything is their responsibility. For example, there is basically no assistance from the organization in finding a place to live, even if you are a Japanese. That's how it was for me." The 33-year-old said that being a Japanese woman in AEW is tough. She also added, "There is a fierce battle to get a chance to compete before you can show off your skills in a match. That is what AEW is today." Shida ended her column on a positive note and expressed her belief that the situation will improve once the COVID-19 pandemic comes to an end. As you might recall, Shida became the AEW Women's Champion when she defeated Nyla Rose at Double or Nothing in 2020. She lost the title to Britt Baker at Double or Nothing the following year. Well, what are your thoughts on the comments that Hikaru Shida made in this article? Go ahead and let us know in the comments section below. As always, hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure to head on over to thesportster.com for all of the latest in wrestling news.